didn't attend my sister Amanda's wedding, and now the family is divided. The worst part isn't that I missed the ceremony. That half my family thinks I did it out of jealousy, and the other half thinks I finally stood up for myself. I've lost cousins over lesson. I've been called selfish, dramatic, unstable. My mother hasn't spoken to me in 3 weeks. And Amanda, she posted her wedding photos with a caption about protecting your peace from negative energy. I guess I'm the negative energy. For context, Amanda and I used to be close. Not movie montage close, but close enough that we shared clothes in high school. And secrets in college, she was always the golden one. Homecoming queen, straightest student. The one teachers adored, I was quieter, observant. The one who noticed things but didn't always say them. When she got engaged to Ryan last year, everyone celebrated like we'd won the lottery. He came from money, polished, charming. Worked in finance, he had the perfect handshake. And the kind of smile that never quite reached his eyes. I tried to like him, I really did, but I saw things the first red flag was subtle. At Thanksgiving, Amanda was telling a story about her new job. She was excited, really excited. And Ryan interrupted her mid-sentence to correct a minor detail, not once, 3 times. She laughed it off. He's just particular, she said later when I mentioned it. Then there was Christmas. She wore a red dress she loved. He told her it was a little loud and suggested she change. She did no argument, no hesitation. That's when my stomach started sinking. I asked her gently if she was okay. She rolled her eyes and told me I was reading into things. Not every guy is a villain, Claire, she said. Just because you've had bad relationships doesn't mean mine is. That hurt more than I expected. Over the next few months, I watched her shrink. She stopped wearing bright colors. She stopped talking about grad school. She started saying things like, Ryan doesn't think that's practical, and Ryan prefers if I don't go out late. Every time I tried to bring it up, she'd get defensive or worse. She'd repeat his words back to me like they were her own. 3 weeks before the wedding, she called me crying. She said they'd had a fight. She found messages on his phone from a coworker, flirty, intimate, not technically cheating, but close enough to feel like betrayal. When she confronted him, he told her she was overreacting. That if she was more secure, he wouldn't need harmless attention from other women. She asked me what to do. I told her the truth. I said this wouldn't get better. That marriage wouldn't magically fix disrespect. That if she already felt small, it would only get worse once vows and mortgages were involved. She went quiet 2 days later. She texted me. We talked it out. I overreacted. Please drop it. I didn't. I sent her screenshots of articles about emotional manipulation. I asked her to postpone the wedding, even just for a few months. I told her I loved her too much to smile through something that felt wrong. That's when she stopped calling. A week before the wedding, my mom invited me over. She closed the kitchen door like we were discussing a crime. Amanda says you're trying to sabotage her. She said I felt like I'd been slapped. I explained everything, the messages, the comments, the way he chipped at her confidence. My mom sighed and said every relationship has issues. That I was projecting that weddings are stressful and I should be supportive instead of dramatic. Can you just be happy for her? She asked. I wanted to say yes. I wanted to zip up a pastel dress and hold a bouquet and pretend my chest didn't feel tight every time I pictured her walking down that aisle. But I couldn't the night before the wedding. Amanda texted me, if you can't be supportive, don't come. I stared at that message for an hour. It felt like a test. Like she wanted me to prove my loyalty by showing up and clapping on cue. Instead I replied, I love you. I can't pretend this feels right. If you ever need me, I'm here. I turned off my phone. The next morning while she was saying her vows in a vineyard, surrounded by white roses and string lights, I was sitting on my apartment floor with a cup of cold coffee. Trying not to cry, I wasn't celebrating. I wasn't triumphant, I was grieving. By the time I turned my phone back on, it was chaos. 32 missed calls, messages from cousins calling me selfish, and aunts saying I embarrassed the family. My dad's text was the worst. You could have kept your opinions to yourself for one day. Amanda blocked me. The photos started appearing online that evening. She looked stunning. Ryan looked proud. The comments were full of heart emojis and perfect couple and fairy tale ending, and then came the caption, grateful for everyone who showed up with love and positivity. Half the family interpreted that as shade toward me. The other half started privately messaging me, saying they'd noticed things too. That maybe I was brave, that maybe I was right. I don't feel brave. I feel like I lost my sister. It's been 4 months now. We haven't spoken. My mom tries to stay neutral, but I can tell she resents the tension. Family dinners feel like political debates. My name is either defended or criticized, rarely mentioned without a sigh. Last week I heard through a cousin that Amanda quit her job. Ryan suggested she focus on planning their move to Chicago. Apparently it made more financial sense. I don't know what's happening inside that marriage. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they're blissfully happy, and I'm the cautionary tale of a bitter older sister who couldn't let go. But sometimes late at night, I replay that phone call from 3 weeks before the wedding. The crack in her voice, the way she whispered, I don't feel like myself anymore. That's the version of her I couldn't ignore. I didn't skip the wedding to make a statement. I skipped it because I couldn't smile. In photos that would live on walls and social media, knowing I had doubts I never voiced publicly. I refused to stand as a witness to something my gut told me might hurt her. Maybe that makes me self-righteous. Maybe it makes me stubborn. Or maybe it makes me the only person who loved her enough to risk being hated. I don't know how this ends. I don't know if she'll call me one day crying again, or if she'll send me baby announcements and holiday cards. Like nothing ever happened. I don't know if we'll sit across from each other in 10 years and laugh about how dramatic this all was. All I know is that I chose honesty over harmony, and now my family is divided. If you've ever stood alone at the edge of a celebration because your conscience wouldn't let you clap, you know how heavy that choice feels. I hope I was wrong, but if I wasn't, I hope she remembers that even when I didn't show up to her wedding. I never stopped showing up for her.